minute, Cleopatra's a documentary? I thought it was just like a movie, like Elizabeth Taylor or like Hedy Lamarr. I wasn't even mad about it because I thought it was just gonna be like a movie. It's a documentary. No wonder people are pissed. She was freaking Macedonian. There's engraved images of her on coins. She was a descendant of Alexander the Great. How do you call this a documentary? You're not using any documents. I thought this was some sort of like fan fiction. I was okay with it on that level. Jada Pinkett Smith is on some bullshit. Like the acting isn't even good. It's like goofy. It gives me Velma. I was a queen during Egypt. My father gave me the right to rule. I am so freaking Egyptian as I'm walking through the pyramids, looking over the desert sand. Bring back shame. Bring back shame.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Comic Crow. And I have to talk about this whole Queen Cleopatra Netflix just disaster that's going on. And I mean, you can see it on the screen. People have been talking about this for a couple days now. 10% from the critics, 2% from the audience. And I was going through these reviews, and I gotta say, like, many of these are absolutely hilarious to read through. Like, it does piss people off, okay? It really pisses people off. And I've heard, like, some of the cope where they bring up, like, the movie with Elizabeth Taylor. I'm like, well, for one, it's a movie. This is supposed to be a documentary. But for two, like, I'm sorry, but you could pass off a white person far easier as Macedonian and Greek than trying to gaslight everybody and tell them that Cleopatra was actually black. Oh, by the way, guys, you know what's really screwed up about this entire situation? So it's Jada Pinkett Smith, right? And she wanted to highlight like black female rulers throughout history and everything, of which there's actually many, of which actually there were some from Egypt. They're part of the 25th dynasty of Egypt. They were the Nubian dynasty. They came from freaking modern day Sudan. Okay, they were invaders. They were the invaders. But nobody knows who these people are, right? This is like deep ancient Egyptian history. They ruled for about a century or whatever. But like, you could have talked about actual black rulers of Egypt, black pharaohs of Egypt. They did exist. They did exist. They just weren't Queen fucking Cleopatra. It's funny. It's so funny. And again, we see the race swapping things happening like all the time now. It happens literally all the time. You know, just recently, there was a report by Macedonian Comics that for James Gunn's Superman Legacy, they're specifically trying to find a black guy to play Lex Luthor. And I was thinking about it and go like, well, I'll be honest. I just want somebody that can like actually bring a real version of Lex Luthor onto the screen, the same way Michael Rosenbaum did in the Smallville show, right? But that's all fictional. That's all fictional, right? And I mean, I think it's overdone. I really do think it's overdone. But at the end of the day, you could at least have that argument that it's all just a work of fiction. But this is portraying itself like an actual historical documentary. And what's even worse about it is you have actual Egyptians who are coming out against this, okay? Not just people that live in Egypt today, but you know, like historians in Egypt who specialize in this field, who have like literally gone to this woman's tomb. They have images of her engraved in walls and shit like that. They know what she looked like. It's there. It's present. Actually, that's one of the craziest things about Egyptian history is a lot of it is so well documented, and a lot of it, like they made statues, they made carvings of these people, paintings, things like that still exist to this day. So we know roughly what Cleopatra actually looked like, and she was a light-skinned woman, okay? I mean, at least lighter skin than this. Again, it's just such a bizarre thing to me, because as somebody that really does love Egyptian history, I mean, you had the ability to actually talk about the 25th dynasty of Egypt. You could have talked about the Nubian dynasty. You could have talked about the Black Pharaohs of Egypt. They did exist. But Jada Pinkett Smith, who created this absolute fucking disaster, decided that she wanted to essentially colonize the Egyptian history to make herself and other black people in the United States get up all in their feels and feel so much better about themselves or something. I don't care about the message here. This is history. This is a thing that literally happened. This is a woman who actually existed, and trying to lie and gaslight people is disgusting. And it's like this idea that, oh, if you live on a continent, everybody on that continent looks the exact same. That's brain rot. That's actual brain rot. Okay, I'm sorry. It's actual brain rot. And I mean, inherently, it's like a super duper hardcore like racist ass American viewpoint. It really is. I was going through these, and I gotta be clear. This is obviously a troll, okay? Because it's written by Robert, and it opens up with, to begin with, I consider myself an African queen who is forced to live in and among the whites of this country that formerly enslaved my people. And I might be wrong, with the whole trans thing. This could be a black woman named Robert. We don't know. We have no idea. I must smile at them and pretend like I do not know what their people did to mine. I must wait on them and serve them at my job. I must say, noting and venting nowhere about the daily examples of cultural appropriation that I see in my city. I think it's actually hilarious to bring up cultural appropriation in the context of this fucking this show. So forgive me if I do not jump on the bandwagon of protesting a little bit of reverse cultural appropriation, or as the most blatantly racist publications have called it, blackwashing. I think that claiming Queen Cleo as one of our own is the least the white people can do to make up for their sins of the past. This is all funny, it is, but man, it's not the white people you're stealing from. It's the Egyptians. It's the people in Egypt. You're stealing their culture. You're stealing one of their historical leaders of that country. And Cleopatra was a very influential woman, and a lot of people do idolize her. Even in, modern day Egypt, they still do. They look back at that history, and it's something that fills them with a level of pride you do not understand. Trying to steal any part of that, trying to take any part of that is disgusting. It's wrong, and it should be mocked, shamed, and ridiculed. Now again, this is just funny. This is obviously just a troll. Okay, this is obviously just a troll. But you see the other stuff, right? History and fantasy shouldn't get mixed in a documentary. I mean, yeah, exactly. They shouldn't be mixed together in a documentary. And it's not just the people in the comments over here, right? Was looking forward that that Jada Pinkett Smith would feature other lesser known African queens like she did with I don't know how to say that. Nijinga or something. But they chose Cleopatra, whose story has been told way too many times. So our expectation about any Cleopatra film would be very high, and also by now, it's an already established fact that she's of Macedonian stock. The creators said, well, she's the daughter, to my understanding, and, I'd be wrong here, but she's the daughter of one of Alexander the Great's generals. So she is of Macedonian and Greek descent. Okay, she was not black. I understand that people struggle with the concept that not everybody that lives on the continent of Africa shares the same skin color. I do. I get it. I know it's tough. It's tough, baby. It's tough. But you got to just deal with it. I was waiting for the ancient aliens to enter the stage. Okay, this is the best one. This is the best one. This is the best one. Okay, let's go to some other stuff, though. Queen Cleopatra was the queen of Egypt. Egypt is in Africa. Why is it so difficult for the MAGA racists to accept that they would cast a black woman in that role? She looks as much like Cleopatra as Elizabeth Taylor did, and I don't remember this kind of drama over that casting. The right's protest over the series falsifying history falls flat when they are whitewashing slavery and the Holocaust. Bro, what the fuck was with that leap? Is this a real account? Are these real people? Okay, first off, this is just like I said. It's actually a super, super duper duper racist and ignorant American viewpoint to look at a continent and say everybody there must look the same, right? Everybody there must be the same. Like, it's, first off, Africa's massive. It's massive. There are many people that live in that continent, and well, the majority are certainly black. Once you get up into Egypt and like parts of Libya and everything, I'm sorry, it's connected straight into the Middle East. It's connected straight into where Jordan and Israel are. Those are that's I'm sorry, that is the Arab people. Okay, you're stealing from us. You're taking from us. Man, can you just put it like this, right? The entirety of the Middle East has basically been ransacked, looted, massacred, resources stolen, regime change warfares to protect the petrodollar. And then you have this quote-unquote black queen, Jada Pinkett Smith, who fucks her son's best friend and blames her husband for it, turns around and goes ahead and steals even more from the Arab people. Like, piss the fuck off. Oh, speaking of Jada Pinkett Smith, she's blaming the white supremacists for calling her ass out, even though it's literally the Egyptian people. It's literally the Egyptian people. Egypt is suing over this documentary because they're going like, you're presenting this as historical fact of our nation, and it is an outright lie. It is an outright lie. It is. And like that comment said, again, if this woman actually cared, okay, actually cared about presenting, black rulers, she could have done that. They are lesser known. I get Cleopatra is a much bigger name and is more well known and everything. I think it would have been, I'm sorry, it would have been really cool if Jada Pinkett Smith had decided to show us the black pharaohs, people that are far lesser known, because that, I would say that's important. And again, as much as I hate this idea, if her whole goal was to, do this whole, black people pride and everything, she could have twisted things around to make them more influential and presented it that way if she really wanted to. But instead, she straight up blackwashed a Greek Macedonian woman. What the fuck? Who does that? Who the fuck does that? I remember seeing this. I've seen this clip all over the place. And I'm so tired of hearing the words come out of her mouth. So it's on the screen, okay? I remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, but Cleopatra was black. I mean, I'm sorry your grandma lied to you. I'm sorry Grams was a fucking liar. But what do you want me to say? The Egyptian history is some of the most well-documented history. It's like the Roman history. They kept really good records. They kept statues of these people. They made paintings and carvings. They put their faces on coins. They're the first to do that shit. Oh my god. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. These people are so fucking dumb. And they're gaslighting us in real time. They're trying to gaslight us in real time. They're trying to guilt and shame us for pointing out that they're fucking lying, that they're taking the culture of another people and they're blackwashing it to make themselves feel good. That's disgusting behavior. It is. And to do it to the Egyptians, of all fucking people, okay? Of all the fucking people to go after, you try to steal more from the fucking Arabs. What the fuck? So anyways, guys, I really want to give more my thoughts and opinions. I know I could play the clips from the interviews and everything. We could read through the Jada Pinkett Smith article, but you know, but like, guys, what was the point of this? Okay, this was supposed to be a historical documentary. All right, to highlight a black ruler of Egypt, a female black ruler of Egypt, a female black pharaoh. Right, that was the whole goal here. And instead of taking an actual female black pharaoh that actually existed, that we again is documented and we have proof of, we have Jada Pinkett Smith decide to just lie and gaslight everybody. We have the actress in this garbage series lie and gaslight everybody. Everybody working on this project knows they are lying, knows the history does not support this. And look, I've heard also that just as a series, it's garbage, right? It's way too fucking preachy. It talks down to you. And I'm just, man, it's dumb. It's dumb. But look, guys, tell me in the comments section, and I'm being dead serious, would you have wanted to watch like an actual historical documentary series on the Black Pharaohs of Egypt, right? Actually digging into their history, what they did as pharaohs, all of it, how it started, how it ended, roughly a century, right? Would that not be more entertaining than trying to blackwash and lie about who Cleopatra was? Tell me in the comment section. I'm genuinely curious.